Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are digging into a massive shift in leadership, one that's all about moving from being a manager who just gives orders to being a leader who genuinely grows their people. We're going to be pulling some powerful ideas from the book Coaching in Organizations to show you exactly how it's done.
So let's kick things off with a huge, and I mean huge, problem that just about every company faces. They spend billions of dollars on training programs, right? But think about it. How much of that great information actually gets used when people are back at their desks? The frustrating truth is, not nearly enough.
The legendary management guru Ken Blanchard has a name for this. He calls it the learning/doing gap. It's that frustrating canyon between knowing what you should do and actually doing it. And closing this gap, it isn't just a minor tweak. It is single-handedly the biggest opportunity for unlocking the hidden potential in any organization.
Now, to really understand the solution, first we have to get brutally honest about the problem. We need to take a hard look at the old-school, traditional way of managing, that command and control style that, let's be real, a lot of us still see every single day. At the heart of this old paradigm is a really simple but damaging belief. Mistakes are bad and someone must be punished for them. So, the second something goes wrong, all the energy immediately shifts to the past. The first question is almost always, okay, whose fault was this? And you can see how this creates a pretty toxic environment, right? It's all about blame and finger-pointing, which leads straight to micromanaging. Trust gets completely eroded. And of course, nobody is going to take a risk or try something new if they're terrified of failing. It just becomes a culture of fear, where everyone's main job is just to prove they didn't mess up. And this example just nails it. Think about the energy behind questions like that. They aren't trying to find a solution, are they? No, they're an attack. They are designed to hunt down a culprit. An approach like that immediately just shuts down any hope of collaboration or creative thinking. But, okay, there is a much better way. It's a powerful alternative. So let's dive into the new paradigm, what it looks like to shift from a culture of control to a true climate of coaching. So what exactly do we mean by coaching here? Well, it's not about being a therapist, and it's not just about being a cheerleader either. The book makes this crystal clear. It is a deliberate process. It's all about having focused, intentional conversations to help people unlock their own potential to get the most out of their own performance. The goal, at the end of the day, is growth. You know, in a coaching climate, the whole mindset just flips on its head. The default belief is that your people are smart, they're capable, they're creative. Developing your team suddenly becomes just as critical as hitting a project deadline. And maybe most importantly, mistakes get totally reframed. They're not failures to be punished, they're valuable, even crucial opportunities to learn something. Okay, let's go back to that VP. Imagine the exact same mistake happens, but this time in a coaching climate. The reaction is completely different. See how the questions are now focused on the future, on finding a path forward? What do we need? Who can help us? This empowers the team to actually solve the problem, instead of just running for cover. This side-by-side really just lays it all out, doesn't it? The old way is obsessed with the past, and it creates employees who are dependent on the manager for every little thing. The new way, it's all about the future, building a team of self-reliant problem solvers. I mean, the bottom line is this: the old way creates followers. The new way creates future leaders. So just take a second here and think about your own job. When you look at these two columns, which one hits a little closer to home? We'd love to hear about it. Let us know which paradigm your workplace falls into down in the comments. All right, so making this shift sounds amazing in theory, but how do you actually make it happen? Well, it definitely doesn't happen by accident. The book gives us a super clear roadmap, and it starts with a few things that are absolutely non-negotiable. So, there are 4 essentials. First, it has to start from the very top. Senior leaders have to walk the walk. Second, everybody in the organization needs to clearly understand what's in it for me, how this whole coaching thing is actually going to help them. Third, and this one is so important, confidentiality has to be rock solid. Without that safe space, you can forget about trust. And finally, coaching can't just be a bunch of nice chats. It has to lead to real, tangible action and get real results. But look, building a culture like this takes time and effort. It's an investment. So let's talk about the bottom line. Does all this coaching stuff actually deliver business results you can measure? The data is in, and the answer is a resounding yes. Remember that learning/doing gap we talked about at the very beginning? While the ultimate goal of a coaching culture is to finally close it for good. This is not some fluffy, feel-good initiative. It is a powerful, strategic tool designed to turn knowledge into action and drive a real impact on the business.
You want hard data? Let's talk hard data. One formal study actually calculated the return on investment for coaching just one single key employee. The result? A pretty staggering 397% ROI.
So, you might be wondering, where does a crazy number like that even come from? Well, in that particular study, it came from keeping one valuable but unhappy employee who was about to walk out the door. Just that one act saved the company over $120,000 in replacement costs. But the benefits are so much bigger than that. Coaching builds your leadership pipeline, it turns around underperformers, and it boosts engagement because people feel like the company is genuinely invested in them.
So the key takeaway here is that this isn't some abstract theory you have to wait for. It starts with small, deliberate actions you can take today. So forget about trying to change the entire culture overnight. Just ask yourself this: what is the one thing you can do in your very next conversation to be a little less of a commander and a little more of a coach? That's the question we'll leave you with. Thanks for tuning in.